there, it's Sandy and AnaLynne, and ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, today we're with Todd Ashbeck.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you, Todd?
I'm doing very well, AnaLynne.
Oh, I am so glad to hear that. This is a totally wild experience for me. I can't believe I'm gonna get to interview you.
I think the pleasure's mine.
Did you hear that? He likes me already, AnaLynne. All right, AnaLynne, you start us off here. Okay, Todd, we have to start at the very beginning, where we always start. When did music first enter your life?
The first time I heard it,
Oh,
when
and
I
when
was
was
when
that?
I was when I was a little kid, I used to live on a dairy farm with my family in a little town called Blinker, Wisconsin. And I remember going to the barn when my dad and my older brothers and sisters were milking cows. And I was too young, but they always had the radio playing. And I remember growing up, this was in the late 60s, mid to late 60s. And I remember hearing all kinds of like Beatles songs. I remember hearing Come On Baby Light My Fire by the Doors.
Of course.
Everything that was a big hit back then. And that's kind of what got the whole ball rolling for me.
You just already made me so happy. You named two bands I love. Man, milking cows, that sounds like fun.
Yes, and I live in Wisconsin, so and yes, I do know how to milk cows.
Do you still milk them?
No, no,
No, it's not a
no.
right
But when I was in high school, I used to work on my cousin's dairy farm, and then I was old enough to milk cows. So I used to help him with everything. I drove tractor, made hay. It was just I did that for 3 summers in a row, and it's a time in my life that I wouldn't give up for anything because
Really? So you enjoyed that?
it was fun. I enjoyed it. I didn't have to live there all year long. I just
Oh,
helped out on the summers and I came home every weekend. So I had plenty of time to spend with my friends and family. But yeah, I learned how to milk cows and drive tractor and shovel things.
shovel things.
Yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, it sounds so whimsical and fun when you just leave it at things.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I want
They're
to know.
not
Okay, if you.
necessarily the things you'd want to shovel,
Oh, that's so funny.
but a
Oh,
farmer
that
has to.
prepared
That's
you
what
for
they
a
do.
lot in life, right?
Yes, it made me who I am today.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Oh, then I want to milk a cow. That sounds like fun. Um,
It is actually fun. And we didn't do it by hand either. I mean, we had the milkers. They don't do it by hand anymore, obviously, but
wait, they don't? No one told me this. I wasn't
yeah,
updated.
they have milkers where you connect it to the cow and it automatically milks them. And then the milk goes to the bulk tank, and that's where it keeps the milk fresh and sterile and clean and ready to go out to the dairies that turn it into milk that people can buy, cheese, ice cream, butter, you name it.
I wonder how the cow feels about that.
I don't think they really care as long as you feed them.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I think that like I was telling you about words of wisdom. I think you already just gave them to me. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Just don't if you ever have a chance to milk cows, do it.
okay, you
That
know what?
those are my words of wisdom. No, I'm
That's
just kidding.
beautiful. That's gorgeous, Todd. Honestly. We should go back to like the musical aspect, right? Don't you
Yeah,
think? Or
yeah.
we can talk about cows. I mean, I don't know. Um, what was I just gonna say? Oh, so when you first started playing music, what kind of music were you playing?
I started when I was 12, and that was in 1975. And so I was playing all of the rock and roll hits that were on the radio at the time. My first band played songs like from bands like The Guess Who, Bachman Turner Overdrive. Um, I remember the first song I ever played in a band was American Band by Grand Funk Railroad. What a better song to start out with. And songs like Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple. And these are the things that I started out with. But when I first started playing guitar, I didn't know if I wanted to be a rhythm guitar player or a lead guitar player or a bass guitar player
Oh,
because I like bass a lot too when I
yeah.
first started. But I realized pretty early on that I liked lead guitar. I liked playing the solos and just being kind of creative with that. So it didn't take long for me to figure out where I needed to be. I
That's
also same year I learned how to play piano and organ and trumpet too, so I can play a lot of different things.
Whoa, I mean, what did you start out on?
I started out on organ. My
Really?
mom had a double decker organ and we had a piano down in our basement. So I started out playing that, and then later that year when school started, I started playing the trumpet. I was in the school band,
Oh,
and I started playing guitar later. Always wanted to play guitar, but my mom just she wanted me to play organ, and my dad was kind of into the trumpet thing. And but my mom used to play guitar and sing on the radio with her youngest sister
wow.
live on the radio. This was back in like probably the 40s, and when she was quite young, and so I found her guitar and I asked her. It was just an old acoustic guitar. Kalamazoo is the brand, and I still have it. It's actually down here in the basement. I asked her if I could just kind of mess around with it, and she said, "Well, you don't know how to play guitar." And I said, "I know, but I want to play guitar. Let me just mess around with it." And she said, "Okay." And that's what started me on guitar, and I started playing her guitar that year. So all three of them that same year when I was 12.
That's totally wild. I can't believe
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So, did you take lessons when you were starting out on the organ? So, I guess did you take
I
lessons for
took
that?
I took lessons on everything except for guitar. Guitar I was self-taught on. Taught myself
That's
how to play everything.
that is the funniest thing ever, and that's what
Yeah,
you're doing still. That's so
yeah.
funny.
But see, my mom and dad didn't want me to play guitar. They wanted me to play organ and piano. So if I wanted to play guitar, I had to teach myself. But luckily, I had a good ear,
Right.
and I even knew how to read music on all three instruments. I bought a book that was like a self-teaching guitar book, so I taught myself how to read music on guitar. But I never needed to do that because I never, the bands I played in, we just played by ear. We learned the songs that we wanted to learn and play just by ear. So, and I was good at that too. So
Oh man,
probably better at that than reading music actually.
really? Is your ear
Yeah,
like that trained? That's wild.
it's not trained. I wouldn't say my ears. Well, I
And
wouldn't say
it
that
must adapt over time, right?
it's. I can hear music. I since I started liking music, loving music so young, I could just always hear everything really well. And so it was easy for me to just kind of pick stuff up like that. So I wouldn't call it a trained ear. I would just call it a good hearing for a
I love that.
musician. That's all right. Yeah.
What was it like in your first band? What was it like for you for the first time when you were starting to play with people?
My first band was with two of my best friends
Oh, you
and
were
from high
three
school.
piece?
Yeah, just three piece. I was the only guitar player. We had a drummer and a bass player. And I never wanted to sing, but through necessity, I became a pretty good singer too. And so all three of us sang, but it was mostly the bass player and I that did most of the singing. And I actually became a pretty good singer over the years, but the band that I'm in now, we have a lead singer, so I don't sing much more than just backups. But I like that too, and I've always been more of a guitar player than a singer anyway, so that's really where I concentrate most of my efforts on.
No, that's great. I can't say I blame you. Guitar is a blast.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a lot of fun.
so when you were exploring and trying to figure out what kind of guitar you wanted to play, rhythm and lead and bass,
Yeah.
what was it that made you decide on lead?
Well, for one thing, I didn't realize early on that a lead guitar player is also a rhythm guitar player. You don't just play lead guitar. So I thought, well, if I want to be a rhythm guitar player, I might as well become a lead guitar player because that way I'm going to be able to do both anyway, and then I can do all of the solos that I love to play, and a little shredding, of course, playing fast
Oh
and
man.
just that shredding. But I also like to play melodic solos too. So I just wanted to play lead guitar, but it was songs like Philadelphia Freedom by Elton John, that songs like that, and like Silly Love Songs by Wings with Paul McCartney.
So good.
If you listen to the bass parts of those songs, there's so much groove and feel in them. Those were the kinds of songs that made me think maybe I want to be a bass player. But and I can play bass too. If you can play guitar, you can usually play bass. and I've written songs and recorded songs of my own, and I've played the bass on most of them, all of them actually.
Really?
And anytime I've recorded any of my own songs, so it's kind of because the four strings on a bass are just the last four strings on a guitar. But instead of playing chords, you have to learn bass runs and that. And if you have a good ear for music, you can kind of figure that out just by listening to what other bass players do. So,
Oh,
but
totally.
that's kind of the whole thing, you know. I always lean toward playing lead guitar, and now I can play all three. So
That's so cool though. I
yeah,
mean, like I can't say I blame you for that. I found myself jumping from instrument to instrument and then not knowing how to focus on one. So
I've noticed that. I've seen a lot of your videos, and I'm like, wow, she can play like just about everything. That's really cool, and
I
that
don't know.
comes in
It's like I
handy.
pick up things and I'm like, I have to learn this song, so I'm learning this instrument now.
And you play by ear too, right?
Yeah, most of the time. Every now and again, I'll look up a tab and I'm like, that's not right. Let me fix this. But
Yeah, I don't even remember how to, or I never really learned how to read tablature either that well. But anytime I did, it always seemed like things are wrong.
yeah, I
Like I
think
could
like the
hear
internet just allows everyone to just put up what they want, so it doesn't
whatever,
necessarily have to be
and
right.
it's not everybody has the right ear for it. I think a lot of times people will learn by ear, put up the tablature, and it's wrong.
Yeah, it's
So
interesting,
it's
isn't it?
yeah, and I feel like I've got a pretty good ear, so I can learn stuff a lot closer to the album to how it should be, and so I that's just how I do things, you know. I cheat a little bit now though because I have to say, back in the day when they did before the internet, there was no YouTube. Now you can go on YouTube and you can get a
Yeah,
free lesson from whoever. A lot of those guys are actually pretty good too. But you know, I still find a lot of those things where I'm like, I think I can get it closer than that, and I usually do.
yeah, yeah.
Sometimes I
I
cheat.
understand that.
Sometimes I cheat, but I'll fix it and do it the way I think it should be done.
Yeah, I actually totally understand that. It's like this gets
Yeah,
me closer. Now I'm in the ballpark. Now I have to figure out what this actually is.
yeah, right.
Oh, that's so funny. Wow, you speak my language. Well, actually, I speak your language. You were doing it first.
We speak the same language, Sandy.
Yes, we do. We do indeed. Um, did you ever find yourself? Whoa. Okay, let's say that in English. Did you ever find yourself frustrated in when you were first trying to learn those fast parts in guitar? Because it was all by ear, right? So it must take a lot
Yeah.
of time.
It took me probably longer than someone who would have lessons only because I didn't realize that what you do is you learn everything slow. You
Oh,
don't learn how to play fast. You learn how to play slow, and then you learn how to speed that up.
yeah, right.
If you learn, for example, you learn a scale, like the probably the most important scale in rock and roll is the minor pentatonic scale, which is also known as the blues scale, right?
Right.
So you learn, and it's actually you can't not learn that. And it's the one I mean I still use it more than anything else. But if you learn that and you thought you try to play it fast right away or something like that, or you try to play licks that are in that scale as fast as you can, um, you're not, it's going to take a lot longer. What you have to do is learn them slowly. Once you learn them slowly, you just gradually speed them up, and eventually it gets easy. And once that muscle memory comes into play, then you don't even really have to think about it that much anymore. Then the muscles just kind of
Yeah.
kick in and do it for you. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like a whole
Yeah,
language in itself. It's like
it is.
is guitar so great?
It is. It is. Every instrument is great in its own right. You know,
Yeah,
I love just about any instrument. Just because if it's music, it's for me, you know.
oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, when you started performing for the first time, were you at all nervous?
My that's a good question. Thanks, AnaLynne.
You are
My
absolutely welcome.
my very first performance was with my first band, my two best friends from high school. At my high school, it was Assumption High School in Wisconsin Rapids, Catholic high school. And I remember not remembering it very well. I was so nervous that when I was up there, it felt like a dream. And of course, I was just playing in front of my friends in school. But I was on stage playing guitar for the first time in front of anybody, and I was terrified. And it felt like a dream. I felt like I wasn't there. And then when it was all over, it was like, yeah, it was fun. I don't remember much of it though.
Oh
So
my
yeah,
God.
I was scared. I was scared the first time. And you're scared at first for a while, but once you do it, and Sandy, I've seen you perform live on stage too in front of people. Once you do it a few times, that fear goes away.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
I've noticed
yeah,
that too.
yeah.
Like every now and again, I'll take a break and then I get nervous about it again. But then I feel like once you're up there, it's like it's such a natural, fun thing.
Yes. Yeah. I get excited. I don't know that I get nervous, but I get excited. Before I go on stage at every show, I get excited. And then just before I go on, I get a little nervous. I
Yeah,
think that's just human nature, but maybe it isn't nerves as much as it is just excitement. But
right. Like the anticipation.
after the first song, that's the nervousness is gone, and actually the excitement just turns into more fun than it's not like uncontrollable excitement. It's
Yeah,
just now you're in control. You're excited, but you're in control, and it's just fun.
absolutely. I know that. Absolutely. 100%. Because, I perform all the time. Absolutely. All the time. All the time.
I know. I've seen it. And you're good.
You think he thinks I'm good. Are you hearing this? I'm hearing this.
Yeah.
Um, what was I gonna say? Oh, so what was it like for you the first time when you noticed the audience interaction when you're performing? Was that something new for you? Was it exciting?
Yes. It was kind of like, wow, they actually like this. They actually like what I'm doing. And once you start experiencing the audience getting into your music, that's when it really gets fun because then you know that, hey, I must be doing this right.
Right, yeah.
They like it. So yeah.
Yeah, it's nice like to be able to do it for you and to love it. But I guess when you go out there and people are also enjoying it, it's like, hey, this isn't bad.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
When you were doing all of this and playing and performing, at what point did you realize that this is what you wanted to do for like you wanted this to be a significant piece of your life?
Yes. And I will tell you that there are three kinds of musicians you can be. You can be a professional, and a professional is somebody who does it for a living. This is their job, that's all they do. Or you can do it as a hobby. And a hobby is something that, you it isn't necessarily your passion. It isn't something that you think about all the time, and you could take it or leave it. Or you can just be like a semi-professional, which is what I am. I make money at it. I play almost every weekend, but I also have a full-time job during the week because I have a family and a mortgage and all of that. But I play almost every weekend. So, and a semi-professional is somebody who does it not for a living, but they make money at it. And the main thing is to be passionate about it. So when somebody tells me, "Hey Todd, that's kind of a nice hobby you have there," no, I correct them all the time. It's not a hobby. A hobby is something you can put away. I've been playing guitar for 49 years,
Wow.
and I never get sick of it. I wake up in the morning thinking about playing guitar. I go to bed at night thinking about playing guitar. At my job, I can focus on my work, but whenever I'm doing something kind of mind-numbingly boring at work, I think about playing guitar. And when I'm at home and I can play my guitar, I play my guitar. It's a passion. It's not a hobby. It's a passion. I'm passionate about it. And there are professionals who are passionate about it, and there are professionals that aren't passionate about it too. There are some professionals, I think, that when they have a bad experience, let's say maybe they are playing with people they don't necessarily get along with, or maybe they're signed to a record company or a management company that isn't treating them well, they're kind of trapped. They feel like I don't even really care about this anymore, and they lose their passion. So the main thing is, if you really want to be a musician, you really want to be, successful at it, and it's a passion for you, just remember that. Keep that in mind, because a hobby isn't going to last forever,
Right.
and it's not going to get you where you want to be if you really want to be a professional, or you want to be like me, a semi-professional who's good enough to be a professional but doesn't really do it for a living. I used to, but I never made a real good living at it. I never actually made it, to fame and fortune, but I've gotten good enough to do that. And that's because I'm passionate about it, and I'll never quit. And I
Oh,
noticed
I
right
love.
behind you, you've got bread, the best of bread.
Isn't it
Yeah,
so good?
yeah.
Oh, goodness. What's your favorite song on it?
The Guitar Man.
Oh, it's so good. That's like you.
Yeah, it's like me.
You are the guitar
And
man.
I am the Guitar Man. And I also, well, I mean, I love Brett. I love just about all their stuff, but they had a song in the late 70s. Well, actually, um, David, the singer, did the theme to The Goodbye Girl, the movie The Goodbye Girl.
I don't know it.
Oh yeah, you got to look that up on YouTube or something. It's awesome.
Is
And
it?
watch the movie if you ever get to see the movie The Goodbye Girl. That's my favorite chick flick. But I love that movie. It's a great movie. Um, and Richard Dreyfuss is in it. It's a great movie.
Oh,
And
really?
he wrote the theme song for that. But then he also did a song with Brad back in the late 70s called, I got to think about this now for a second. Um, it starts out Lost and All Alone. And
Should we Google? Should we turn to the Google?
we can turn to the Google. I know I'm going to think of it as soon as you find it, or just probably before that. But that's another one that I actually really love a lot, and I'm drawing a blank right now.
It's all good. We'll find it.
Lost Without Your Love, I think, is what it's called.
Is it? I don't know it.
Yeah, it's another one you got to check out.
Oh, okay. Then I'm definitely gonna have to check that out. Well, I have it all
Yeah,
recording, so I'll just go back and be like, "So, what did you want me to listen to?"
yeah. Those are not only great songs, but the reason why I love them so much is because I love the guitar solos.
They have great solos, don't they? Isn't it
Yeah,
like people
yeah,
think of Red and I think they think it's like soft kind of stuff, but the solos are so darn good.
yeah. Everything's good.
Every,
I love the lyrics. I love the vocals, the harmonies, all of it. It's
doesn't he
all
have
good.
such a great voice?
Yeah,
Blows my mind. Make it with you. You know what? I could go through every one of these songs and just well, it's the greatest hit. So
yeah. But every album you have back there, you got the Dream Police, everything that you see back there. It's like, yeah, that's. I see Toys in the Attic,
oh, where are they?
Stick,
Let's see. Oh, there.
Rush, Styx, my favorite band.
Are they? Are they
Um,
your favorite? I didn't realize
oh
that.
yeah, they've been my favorite band since I first heard, I think, Lady, and then Lorelei, and then
Oh,
after that, I think Come Sail Away.
come say, oh my gosh! I think you could say any one of those songs and I'd be like, yes, yes, Todd. What's your favorite? You got a favorite?
Crystal Ball.
Oh, that's so good. I have
Yeah,
that right over there.
yeah. And of course, and we talked a little bit earlier about my Facebook post about Tommy Shaw being the nicest guy on the planet. He is really the coolest guy. I met him a couple, 2 or 3 times, and just a regular guy. He's the kind of person that and I don't I've opened for a lot of national acts over the years with different bands I've been in, and I
Nice.
met a lot of rock stars. Some are really, really nice, and some aren't so nice. Tommy Shaw is the kind of guy that I could hang out with him. Like I could be buddies with him. He's just a regular guy.
He seems incredibly sweet. Oh, he
Yeah,
seems so great.
yeah, and I think that's what I like about his personality the most. But his music is great. I love his singing, his guitar playing, his songwriting. He's my favorite musician.
Yes, exactly, precisely.
Yeah,
This is it. I cannot get over the way he plays the acoustic guitar and everything he's written on the acoustic guitar. Uh,
yeah,
the way he puts so many chords over D. It's like
Yeah,
it's so
he
good.
does. He plays good solos too. I mean,
I
he's got some really good chops and very melodic solos. He improvises a lot live, which is pretty cool because you don't see a lot of people kind of going off on their own, and he doesn't always play every solo exactly the same. That's how you know he's improvising, and
yeah,
it
you
always
feel
sounds
it though.
great. He really knows his way around the guitar neck. So
Yeah, he totally kills it. I
yeah,
I love that he jumps from guitar to guitar. Like you'll see him on a six string acoustic, then you'll see him on a six string electric, then a 12-string acoustic, then the mandolin. It's
yeah,
so
and
good.
then he's got about 12 different six strings that he plays. Where I'm one of these guys who once I pick a guitar up and I've got it in my hands, that's the guitar I'm going to play all night, just because
Really?
I get comfortable with it. I have seven guitars, but you know, once I get comfortable with the guitar, that's kind of the one I want to stick with. Is there a
Interesting.
little glare on my screen? I see the sun
A
is
little
coming up.
bit. Wee bit. Oh, I think
Yeah,
it's
here I've got I've got an angel statue.
oh look how gorgeous.
I'll put that over here, and
Oh, it's
we'll have her block the sunlight maybe. There
come
we
on,
go.
Angel, you got oh hey, look at that. Oh, is it sunlight? I thought you were in the basement.
I am in the basement, but there's a big window over here,
Oh
shining
wow.
sun shining in. Yeah,
It's because we're talking about Tommy Shaw.
yeah. I've got my, we've got our unfinished basement in here. This is whenever I say on Facebook that I'm going to the cave to practice. This is or to play my guitar. This is the cave, and
It's
I've got my.
beautiful.
I don't know if you can see it or not, but I've got. Let's see if I can.
Ah,
Them. Where are they?
it's beautiful. It's so
Oh,
much
there
fun.
we go. It's all covered up with a sheet, but I have two Marshall stacks back there. I cover them up because it gets kind of dusty down here, so I uncover them when I practice or when I play.
I thought you were hiding them.
No, no, they're just it just keeps the dust off of them, and I've got the heads on top and stuff. But and then I've got over here, I've got my fly rig that's covered up too. I don't know if you can see that.
You're
It's
hiding
just
it.
covered up. I'm in a dusty old basement, so
No, don't. I'm in a basement too at this moment, actually, and
there you
my
go.
ceiling is just as unfinished. So
So
we're in the
this
same
is your
boat.
cave.
What's
This is
that?
your cave.
Yes,
This
this
is
is
your
my
cave.
it's my
There
cave.
you go.
My room is my closet. I don't have a bedroom. There's five of us kids, so they weren't. I wasn't expected, so I just I hang wherever I want.
You were a blessing too, so was I.
What's that?
You were a blessing too, right?
I was a blessing.
So was I.
That's such a nice way to put it.
Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't planned either, but I was a blessing.
Oh, of
Just like you.
course. You play the guitar. I'm honored. You play the guitar. Of course, you're a blessing. Come
Yeah.
on.
And I think, yeah, I'm really the only musician in my family too, or at
Really?
least the only serious musician. My oldest brother actually is a pretty good organ and piano player too. But
Oh, that's neat. You
he's
ever
a
play together?
Catholic. No, no, he's considerably older than I am.
Oh,
He
really?
on the farm, farmers back in the old days would have like a bunch of kids and they'd be all spread out. So he was 21 when I was born. So he's actually old enough to be my dad.
That's so
But
cool.
yeah, but he does play some pretty mean organ and piano, and he's a Catholic priest, so he did a lot of that in the church.
Oh,
But he
that's
also has
terrific.
his own. Yeah, he's the priest and I'm the rocker, so it's oldest to the youngest. It's kind of a
It's
kind of
all the
a
same. Oh, but
yeah.
that's so
He's
much fun.
actually very cool big brother.
Oh, that's so cool. It's so cool that he's so much older than you. My oldest brother is 20 years older than I am, so we're
Oh
like
really?
totally in the same boat on the river.
Yeah, 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 exactly.
Any way I can make anything more sticks like, I do. So I'm glad you can
Yeah,
appreciate.
he's the boat on the river, right?
I don't know if you've seen Tommy Shaw puppet. Have you ever seen him?
I did on Facebook. I think I saw your Tommy Shaw puppet. That's pretty cool.
I think
It's got
someday.
the goatee just like I do.
Yes, exactly,
Or
precisely.
I should say just like Tommy Shaw has.
I saw some videos where he had shaved it for a while, and I was getting a little bit terrified, but I'm glad it's back.
Oh, well, back in the day, he didn't have any facial hair
Yeah, he was totally
back in
just
the 70s and the 80s, like with Damn Yankees and the early days of
yeah.
Styx. Yeah, that all kind of came in the. I think that came in the probably early 2000s, maybe.
It was like the entrance of Lawrence Gowan era,
Yeah.
something like
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Are you a damn Yankees fan?
Oh yeah. I only got to see him one time, but one of the best concerts I ever saw.
You saw him as damn Yankees?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And
Well, like,
Tommy Shaw's hair was about as long as mine is now, maybe.
that's so cool. Oh,
Yeah. And no facial hair or anything like that. Ted Nugent didn't have the big thick beard that he has now.
does he? Does
Um,
he? I haven't seen Ted Nugent since damn
well,
Yankees.
yeah, he recently I saw a picture of him and he had a big burly mountain man kind of beard, which
That's so
suits
cool.
him because he's kind of like a mountain man, I guess.
I tried to get him for an interview because I'm like, I'll reach out to anybody and get rejected. It's worth reaching out. And
Yeah.
his PR woman wrote back that he was currently in deer camp and was asked not to talk to him until he came out of it. So I was like,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
That actually I believe that. I know he's a big hunter.
Is he? That's very
Yeah,
interesting.
they played when I saw Damn Yankees, they played at the Dodge County Fair in Wisconsin in Beaver Dam. And near there is it's called Horicon Marsh, and it's a big hunting area. And while they were there, Ted Nugent actually mentioned that he hunts there sometimes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he says you got the Horicon Marsh right over here. I come here hunting all the time. So that was kind of neat.
That's totally weird.
Yeah,
Wow, you were in Ted Nugent hunting territory. How do you feel about
yeah.
that?
Um, he did have a bow and arrow
It's
on
good not to
stage.
be a deer. Gosh. Um, so we talked about half. How about Jack Blades? What was he like?
Well, Jack Blades, I never met Jack Blades, but I can tell you this, when I saw Damn Yankees that night, Tommy Shaw is maybe an inch shorter than I am. I'm 5'7", he's 5'6".
Oh, really?
Yeah, at least according to the Crystal Ball album, he's 5'6". But I have to say this, there was a point during that concert when Tommy Shaw walked up to Jack Blades' microphone, and Jack Blade's microphone came up to here on Tommy Shaw, and I remember Tommy Shaw the people were laughing, and he kind of laughed because he had to bend way down to get down to Jack Blade's microphone. So
Really?
Jack Blades must be a real little guy. I
Yeah.
think he's very, very short. Yeah,
I can't believe that.
yeah,
That's so funny.
that was funny. Yeah, it was very funny.
Oh my God. I have to research this. I never even
Yeah,
like put that together. I guess in like
yeah,
a lot of the damn Yankee videos, they're not right next to each other. That is so funny.
yeah. And the drummer, that was Michael Carnelloni. He
Yeah.
now plays with Leonard Skinner.
Does he?
Yeah, he's been with them for a long time. I think shortly after Damn Yankees broke up.
Wow.
Yeah, he's been playing with them for probably 25, 30 years, something like that.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I had
I didn't
no
know if you knew
idea.
that, so just a little something for history buffs,
You
music
got all
history
the
buffs.
info. This is so cool. I can't believe how much you know about these guys. Like, you
Well, I've been
like
around a
Google.
while. I've been around a while, so I know a few. I read a few books.
No, what are you kidding? That's so cool. Oh, I love
Yeah,
that. Oh, I could just sit with you and talk about Tommy Shaw and damn Yankees and Sticks like all day long. But we should probably
and
talk about
guitars,
it. I could talk
and
about you.
guitars, and guitars too, right?
Oh, guitars, absolutely. Why not, right?
Yeah.
What kind of a guitar do you have? Let's talk about guitars.
I have seven actually. I
Let's hear
my
about them.
main I have five Dean guitars. I love Dean guitars, and they're all on Facebook. You can see most of them there, and maybe I can send you pictures of them later or something. But
Yes, please,
they're
dear.
they're all like explorers. They all have the same kind of explorer shape, like a kind of like a star in a way.
Interesting.
That's just the shape that I like. I like the looks of them, and I like the way they have real high um, neck joints, so you can reach up real high in the neck and play. You can shred up there real easy when you've got smaller fingers like I do. I'm just
Awesome.
a little guy, 5'7". I'm just a little guy.
It's okay.
But
I'm smaller than you, so it's good.
But yeah, and that's I have five of those, and I've got one Gibson Explorer, and then I have an LEF custom. LEF is there's a builder. His name is Luis Fernandez, and he's on Facebook. You can find him LEF Custom Guitars. And I saw some of the guitars that he built on Facebook, and I was so impressed with them. I ordered one, and it is by far my nicest guitar.
Oh,
That,
nice.
that's my favorite, yeah. And I have one custom Dean, and I would say those two are very, very close. The Dean is a very close second to the LEF, but I'd have to say my LEF is my favorite. Luis Fernandez, he builds awesome guitars. Little
That's
plug for LEF guitars and Luis Fernandez.
and they have guitars.
Yeah,
Oh, that's so cool though. Oh, do
yeah,
you so that one's that's so cool. Okay, you're gonna have to send me some
yeah.
pictures.
I'll send you some pictures.
You better.
But if you look on my Facebook page and you scroll, I have pinned to the top just my little intro guitar solo for when we play live.
Oh,
If
nice.
you see that, that's my LEF that I'm playing on.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
have any acoustics that you use?
I don't because I don't play enough acoustic guitar,
Oh,
and
really?
yeah, and if I do play any acoustic on stage, I have a acoustic setting
Oh,
so I can
nice,
get
right.
an acoustic sound. But I used to have a really nice Takamine 12 string that I used to love to play back um back in like the 90s and the early 2000s. Crystal Ball was actually a song that I played a lot in several bands I had been in,
Oh,
and
wow.
it doesn't do it justice to play the acoustic parts on an electric guitar, so I had an acoustic for that. And then eventually I got the acoustic simulators, with the electric.
Oh,
So
I didn't even know
yeah,
that was a thing.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
I'm
You
still
can you
learning.
can get if you could probably Google up acoustic simulators for guitars. Boss makes a really nice one. I have a Boss, and sometimes you can get guitars that have like a piezo pickup, which is it's the same kind of pickup that they would put in an electric acoustic guitar,
Oh,
and
wow.
that piezo pickup makes an electric guitar sound just like an acoustic.
That
So
is so cool.
yeah.
I'm
So
learning so much guitar here.
yeah,
Oh,
one day
that's
maybe
so
you'll have
wow.
one.
What's that?
One day maybe you'll have one.
Hey, maybe. Why not?
Yeah,
I have three acoustic guitars. So I do a lot more acoustic than I do electric, but I'm dying to learn more lead. It's
yeah.
hard without a band, but I'm working on it.
It's you just got to start and just keep plugging away at it. And it gets easy after a while. But I noticed you have is it a Gibson LEF 335, the electric that you have?
Actually, it's an Ibanez.
Is it? That is a really nice guitar.
Thank
I,
you.
I've noticed that. I like that guitar a lot.
It's pretty, right?
Yeah, and it's got the wood grain. I think it has like flame maple top. Very nice.
I don't know what that means, but I'm glad you like it.
The stripes that it has like the tiger stripes in the wood, kind of,
Oh,
right?
maybe. Here, hold on.
Yeah, go get it.
He's just in the closet over here.
I'm checking out your albums again.
Oh, are you digging him?
Yeah.
This guy?
That's it. Yeah. Is that it has, I think, does it have a flame maple top? It kind of looks like it. Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't.
It's got the, that all the stripes in the wood.
Oh, is that what we
That,
call that?
that's flamed maple. That's what
Oh,
kind of wood.
that's cool. I
Yeah.
had no idea. I'm learning so
Yeah.
much about my own guitar now.
I have four guitars with a flame maple top like that. I love those.
Oh, you dig that? Oh,
That's my
interesting.
favorite. Yeah.
Oh, I know nothing about this guitar. I'm just learning how to play it. I saw it in the store a few years ago and I was just drooling over it. And then one day I
Yeah.
walked in and I was staring at it and one of the guys in the store said, you can play that if you want. And I was like, "What? You're gonna let me touch it?" And now I fell in love.
Yeah. That's a beautiful guitar. It kind of looks like a Gibson ES 335. I wasn't sure what it was, but
That's really
Ibanez
sweet.
makes
I don't even know
Ibanez
that.
makes great guitars too. I
What
love
was
it.
the last piece?
What's that?
What was the last piece of what you
I
said?
said Ibanez makes really nice guitars too. So that's a beautiful guitar. My
Right.
very first guitar looked just like that.
Really? It was a
Yeah.
hollow body?
Yep. A semi hollow body
Right.
and same shape, but mine was a national.
Oh,
And it had the wood grain, but it didn't have flame maple. It was just like, I'm not sure what it was, to be honest, but you could see all the wood grain because it wasn't painted, it was stained. And
interesting.
yeah, I love the wood grain is I just love stained wood grain over painted guitars because
Really?
wood is just naturally beautiful. So when you stain it a color, you can and still see the wood grain. I love that.
Totally. I love that you love that.
Yeah,
That's such a great detail to notice.
yeah,
But really, deep down, aren't all guitars beautiful? Like people think all babies are beautiful. I don't know, all guitars.
yeah. Although I saw one on Reverb yesterday that I actually sent a picture of it to all of my bandmates, and I said, "Hey, you guys, check this out." And it has, I'll try to send you a picture later too, Sandy.
Wait,
It has all kinds of different pickups on it, and it has two toggle switches up on the top, and it has something like 9 or 10 control knobs on the bottom. And it's a Gibson Les Paul that somebody ruined.
so
It,
somebody did this to
it,
it?
it, look, it looks like a clown car, but a guitar. You know,
No,
it's like a
why?
clown guitar. And I'm like, why would you ruin a Gibson Les Paul like that? So that one's maybe not the most beautiful guitar I've ever seen.
That's so sad. Oh
Yeah, I
my
feel
God.
sorry for the guitar, and he's
How
trying
much
to
was
sell it,
it?
whoever it is. What's that?
How much was it?
Way more than it's worth. I think
Yeah,
he was asking something like 6,700 or something like that.
that's
Um,
crazy.
yeah, I was just like, oh no, no,
For something like
not worth that.
doctored like that, that's a little that's a little
Yeah,
weird.
it was not pretty. I felt sorry for the guitar.
Oh, the poor thing.
Yeah,
It didn't deserve
I'll
that.
send you a picture of it later, and you'll see what I mean.
Oh, I can't wait to see. I'm
Yeah,
sitting on the edge of my seat here.
yeah. Maybe you can show it on your Facebook page then too, so people can see what it looks like.
Oh, I may have to. It'll
And
be
it's
like
on
all the
Reverb
pictures.
right now. It's for sale if somebody wants it. It's on Reverb right now. So
You want the ugly guitar?
yeah,
Go now.
yeah. Only $6,700.
Oh my God, I can't imagine paying that much for a guitar. Like, I mean, I love guitars, but like,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
I think to be honest with you, Sandy, I my LEF is my most expensive guitar, and it was maybe half that. I think you can get a nice guitar for $1,000 or less. You
Yeah,
don't have to spend a whole lot of money on a nice guitar. Really, you don't. Um, but it's sometimes they get a little ridiculous. Like that's one of the reasons why I don't own a Gibson. They're just outrageous. You know, the
yeah, they
price I
are.
can't afford them. I can afford 7 other guitars
No,
instead of, one or two Gibsons. I do have one Gibson, but it's just a name. It's just a brand.
have you noticed
Um,
that they do have a good sound to them though? Like, there's a tone on a Gibson that's very distinctive.
it's very distinctive, but you can probably get that tone out of a lot of guitars.
You
I'm
think?
pretty sure I can. I'm pretty sure I can get them out of my Dean guitars and my LEF too. So I
Really?
owned I used to own 3 Les Pauls Gibsons,
Oh
and
no,
I owned 2 Gibson Explorers, and I've only kept one.
really?
I've had that one since 1982.
Oh
That's my
wow,
oldest guitar. Yeah, so I was 19 when I bought that.
awesome! Oh my gosh,
Yeah, and
that's
I still have it. But it's not even my favorite guitar, so it kind of tells you something too. It's I guess don't get hung up on the brand and how much you pay for it. If you
right.
love
Yeah,
it,
you
if
just
you
kind
love
of
it, you
listen
love
to
it.
it if you
Yeah,
feel it.
yeah. You'll know it's right when you play it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I picked up a Dean once, and it was like that was a trip, man. Like the
yeah.
frets, the way that they're like angled, that was so weird, but it sounded so good. It's
Did it
crazy.
have angled frets though? See, mine are just like regular guitars. They
Really?
have straight frets. Yeah. So maybe
Probably
this was something.
it might have been that particular guitar.
Might
It
have
was
been.
like
Yeah.
it was like one of those guys with the thing and the Well,
Oh,
that's like,
somebody must have put a different fretboard on. That's yeah, those aren't typical. That's
really.
a weird. Yeah, I've seen those guitars, and I don't know how anybody can play that.
I picked it up, and the moment I tried to tune it, I popped a string, so I didn't get very
Yeah.
much time with it. It was so sad. And then the guy at Guitar Center didn't seem very happy because there were Floyd Rose strings, and he didn't want to
Oh,
put it back on.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't understand. I don't get that. That's it's supposed to be with all the weird kind of the frets are all like bent and stuff. It's supposed to be so that wherever you play on the neck, it's supposed to be in tune because what they say that with straight frets, your intonation is not quite right. So they bend these frets to somehow make the intonation better. I'm like, if you got to do that, maybe you should pick a different instrument.
Yeah.
I mean, straight frets, if you can't play with straight frets, then there's something. If
Is
you
it
can't
that's
play with
like
straight frets and have your intonation set right, you're not doing it right.
very interesting. It's like training wheels. It's like a
I don't
safety
get it.
there. It's very
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it is. I
Yeah,
picked it up. I thought it was the weirdest thing ever. But I wish I'd had more time with it to really investigate it and
yeah.
see why it was like that and what it does for me.
I've never actually played one. I've looked at them and I thought, "Oh, I'm not going to pick that up."
You ever see a scallop a
Yeah,
guitar
I've seen
scallop
scallop frets.
fret?
Like, do you know who Yngwie Malmsteen is?
No, I don't. Who's that?
Okay, you got I'm going to teach you something about guitar playing. You have to watch some Yngwie Malmsteen because Yngwie is probably one of the fastest guitar players there is, and he plays this neoclassical guitar. Everybody who plays electric guitar, especially from the '80s, from my genre, they know who Yngwie is. So look him up. It's spelled Yngwie, and Malmsteen is Malmsteen, Steen, and he plays with scalloped frets. He might have been the guy who, or one of the first people to play with them. Richie Blackmore from Deep Purple plays with scalloped frets. Um, let's see who else. I think Steve Vai. You know who Steve Vai is?
I don't think I do.
Okay, so Steve Vai. Have you ever seen the movie Crossroads?
No, I was told to watch it and then I didn't.
Yeah, he's the guy that plays the devil's guitar player, but he's actually really good. He played with Whitesnake
Oh wow.
and Frank Zappa. He's been in now he does this G3 concert with Joe Satriani, and they always have like three famous guitar players who are like virtuosos that they tour together and play all over. But he's another guy that I think he has like just his top few frets are scalloped, but not
Interesting.
below that. Yeah.
What is it? I don't get it. What, do you know what this does for a player? Like,
I do. I don't like them though, because
no?
it makes it's like your strings are super high when you do that.
Yeah.
And the other thing is when you press down, like if you're playing a chord and you press down too hard, your guitar will go way out of tune. So you have to play with a really light hand. And because if you press down too hard, it makes the strings go sharp. So
Oh,
imagine
yeah.
you're going just by pressing down like that. And so I don't like them for that, and I don't like them because it feels like when you're playing solos, it feels like you have really high action. But
Yeah.
what it does is it's easier to get under the fret when you bend because it's like you have really super high frets. Some people love that. I couldn't play like that. I
That
have one guitar right now that has high frets, and as it is, I have to play that guitar with a really light touch when I play rhythms, or the chords will go out of tune just because it's you're pressing down, so you're making them go sharp. Where when you don't have super high frets, you can usually press down fairly hard, and your guitar won't go sharp like that. So
yeah.
I'm not real heavy handed, but too heavy handed for a scallop neck like that. It's not for everybody.
I've never even like seen one in person. It's just like the concept to me is something
Yeah.
else.
Well,
It's very
if you
strange.
ever get a chance to see one and play one, play a chord and then push down on the strings, and you'll see. Oh, that's what Todd was talking about. You'll see what I mean, because you can hear it. It just goes way
I'm
far.
dying to get my hands on one and try this out.
Yeah, you may or may not like it. I'm guessing you probably won't. It's not for everybody, but some people love that, and it's everybody's different though.
Right, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Like some
It's
guitar players like real thick picks, and I use real thin picks, but some
really
like real rock hard picks. Yeah, it's because I play with light gauge strings. I play 9 through 42 is the gauge, so they're light gauge.
oh nice, yeah.
Yeah, so I use a light pick. I don't pop strings that way, and I pick really, really fast. And most everything I do is alternate picking. I
Right.
don't do a lot of what they call legato, where you just like pick every second or third note and you play mostly just with your left hand. I pick
Oh
every
wow.
note that I play with my left hand. So when I pick fast like that, you're putting a lot of pressure on the strings. For me, it makes it easier to pick fast, but it also saves the strings. So I'm
Oh
not
yeah,
popping strings.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm still
So
trying to figure that all out. I'm sitting here trying to learn the lead, and I'm playing the acoustic guitar, and I'm breaking my lighter picks. So
yeah.
I'm just trying to figure it all out, but it's all very intriguing.
Do you use light picks, and do they break on you?
Yeah. Oops.
Get nylon. Get nylon picks instead of plastic. Nylon won't break.
Really?
Yeah,
I
they
didn't know
bend
there
and they
were
don't break.
gnarly picks.
Yeah, yeah. No, this is nylon picks. It's like nylon is just it's tougher than plastic, so they don't break. And they wear down after a while, but you can use one nylon pick for a year,
Really?
and
I'm
before
using
it
my
wears before it wears down to where you feel like you want to use a new one again. You know.
That's great. I'm using
Yeah.
my Fender ones right now, and they're like your heavy ones. And I played one for a week, and it's already like I can't use this
Yeah.
anymore.
I started out on light Fender picks, and I used to pop, they broke all the time on me.
Yeah,
They're like rip, you know.
that's exactly what
And
happened to me.
yeah, and somebody said try a nylon pick, Todd. So I tried a nylon pick, and it's like this is great. And
That's genius.
I have never broke a nylon pick in my life.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna have to try that out now because that is
Yeah.
like it's a
And
serious.
they make all gauges, light, medium, heavy, whatever you like. You'll be able to find them. So
I want to try I like the sound better on a light one. It's like it's sharper and it's a
yeah,
much broader sound. So I'm
I
gonna.
I like them. It's easier. They don't get hung up on the strings for me, especially the way when I play solos and I pick really fast. I can just kind of, they don't get hung up on the string
Right, yeah.
or pop strings or whatever. It's easier for me. But everybody's different. Some people like rocks. Some people
Yeah.
like our other guitar player in my band, Rising Phoenix, which I'm representing tonight. Got my Rising Phoenix shirt on.
Yes.
He likes really heavy picks, but that's just what he likes. Everybody's different.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm more than happy to hear anything from anyone at this point. I'm trying to absorb it all.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I think there's a sound to there's a sound to every pick, isn't it? Isn't it weird?
there
Isn't it?
there is, yeah. And once you get used to a sound, that's kind of once you get used to it and you like it, that's kind of the one you want to stick with usually.
Yeah, it's like a piece of
Yeah.
your style.
It is exactly. That's exactly what it is.
That's so cool. That's
Yeah,
totally cool. I'm totally obsessed with all these little details that make a guitarist a guitarist. It's like I really want
yeah,
to eventually be able to write my own solos and guitar pieces and stuff. I'm like, what am I gonna be like as a real musician?
yeah,
It's
yeah. And you develop as you go. You learn more, and sometimes your style changes because you find something that you like better. You just kind of let it lead you where it's going to lead you. You know.
yeah, I've found that as I'm exposed to different things and different people and all that, it's changing definitely. But
Yeah,
it's all a blast. Music is a blast.
yeah. It is.
We should probably talk about Rising Phoenix, right? I'm like sitting here with this has gone in a totally different direction. I'm sitting here with a guitar with my puppet on the ground. We're talking about guitar stuff.
That's
But
okay.
let's talk about Rising Phoenix. Like,
Okay.
who formed it? When was it formed? Tell me everything about it.
Okay. So we're going on 12 years that we've been
Wow.
together. It was formed by, it was my idea. I started the band, but it was formed with Craig Mitchell, our other guitar player, our current drummer, Jerry Anderson, and myself. The three of us are the three guys from the very first time we ever got together to just jam and see, hey, can we make this work? So I always say that I'm the founder of the band because it was my idea, and I did all the booking, and I created our Facebook page, and I did basically all the marketing and everything from the beginning. But if you want to talk about who really founded the band, there are three of us that have been together from the very beginning, and that's Craig, myself, and Jerry. And so that's kind of the very beginning. We had a different singer for the first year, and he didn't work out because he was a talented singer, is a talented singer, but his heart was really kind of in the country, and that's really kind of what he wanted to do. And so when he told me that, he said, Todd, I'm not sure I want to keep doing this because I really kind of want to play country. And I said, well, you got to do what you want to do. You got to do what makes you happy. So if that's what makes you happy, go. And I said, we can find a different singer. And because I knew if his heart wasn't in it,
Yeah.
we
Right.
we didn't want him either, but not that we were upset with him. We just wanted our band to work out too. So I told him, well, I gave him my blessing and told him, do what you got to do. We'll do what we have to do, and hopefully we'll all be happy. So after that first year, we found Matt, our current singer, Matt Burnt. He's been with us for going on 11 years. Super singer, super nice guy. He's a great singer. He's got really just high pipes. He can hit notes that only dogs can hear, I swear. And sometimes I'm like, well, where'd that come from? And super nice guy, like I said, just he's in it. He helps me now with all of the booking and the marketing. So it's not all me doing everything anymore. And we're on our third bass player now. The first two didn't work out for different reasons that we won't get into.
No, that's not.
Yeah, but our current bass player has been with us for about 3 years now, I think, going on 4. And his name is Josh Escher. And Josh is not only a good bass player, but he also kind of took the bull by the horns with, if you've ever seen any of the funny memes that we put up on our Facebook page every day, those are his creation.
Oh my
He does
gosh.
those memes. Yeah, he's the meme guy. So we let him kind of just run with that, and they're always interesting. Some of them are really funny. They're all interesting though. They're all good. And between the 5 of us, we make up Rising Phoenix. We started in November of 2012. So we're going on our 12th year, and that'll be in November. And we play all over the place. We play everywhere in Wisconsin, and we've started venturing out of Wisconsin. Now we go up to Upper Michigan to a couple of casinos up there. We're trying to maybe go down south farther, maybe Minnesota. We'll start working on that stuff probably in the near future, but just about every nook and cranny in Wisconsin we play wherever we can.
So I mean, I know, but just for a little context for, new viewers, what kind of music do you guys play?
We are primarily 80s rock.
Yay!
We play a little bit of 70s in there, but the 70s that we play is the same genre basically. So, like for example, a lot of people consider Aerosmith an 80s band. Well, Aerosmith was huge in the 70s. That's when Toys in the Attic came out, was in the
Oh, is that
70s.
right?
hmm
Oh, no.
And so you've got Walk This Way, Dream On, Sweet Emotion, a lot Toys in the Attic. A lot of these songs are from the 70s.
Oh, you can't hear that. It's not plugged in, but
No,
walk this way.
but so they're really kind of like an 80s band, but we play maybe some of their hits. So that's the 70s we play are songs like that. They're
Right.
they're
Oh,
really
that's so
they're
cool.
really like an 80s band that had also been around in the 70s. So sometimes we'll play some of those 70s hits. But
Nice.
really we're mostly an 80s band. And that's the stuff that I was playing 80s back in my 20s during the 80s when that was brand new music. So and now I'm just playing it again.
Oh, but it's so good. I can't say I
But
blame
now
you.
it's classic rock.
What's that?
Now it's considered classic rock.
Yeah, when did it become classic rock? Like,
I
it's just rock.
I guess when it came back, back in the I would say probably I'm gonna say maybe around 2010, 2011, maybe it started really coming back in somewhere around that time. And that's when it was considered classic rock because now it was no longer 80. Well, it's not the 80s anymore.
Isn't it sad? I mean, I wasn't there, but I don't know. Sounds like fun. Sounds like there was good
I
music.
was, I don't miss the hairspray.
Oh no,
I did all that stuff. I don't miss
did
the
you?
hairspray. Oh yeah.
Oh my
And
God.
I had the big hair and all that stuff too back then.
Okay, but
Yeah.
that's a look. I mean, I don't know. I think it's a look. I think it's cool.
It was a lot of work.
Yeah,
It was a lot of work. And yeah, it was a look, but it's so much easier to just throw a hat on
hats are
or
cool.
run a
That's
comb
cool.
through your hair or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh, but hey, I think it's cool. I support you in all states of Todd. Todd, we have no glasses, Todd, right now, and that's cool.
We have no glasses, Todd, because these are old and I had to take them off because they're actually bifocals. And in order to talk to you and see you, I would have to talk like this and look through the very bottom. But I need a new prescription, so it's just easier to take them. And then you see what I look like without glasses.
You look wonderful.
Do I? Thank you.
Yeah, of
So do you.
course.
So do you.
Oh,
Yeah,
I did an AnaLynne. That was weird.
yeah. And you did do an AnaLynne.
I did,
She
and
looks cool.
I
She
feel
looks
bad.
cool
She
too.
just sitting down here, but we got into talking about guitars, and once we start
She's
talking
like,
about guitars, it's for
she
her.
just leaves the room. She just leaves the room then.
She just left. Like, who does
Yeah,
she think she is?
yeah. Well, she's not a guitar player, so
That's
this
what
is
it
like
is.
over her head.
It's just over her head.
Yeah.
She can do it in an open tuning. She can only do one chord, but I mean,
Hey, it's more than some people can do.
that's actually, isn't it sad? Everybody should learn a little bit, right?
Everybody should learn a little bit of guitar.
Or
See
just like
how to learn
any instrument. Just pick something up. It's important.
any instrument. There are people in the world who don't like music. Can you believe that?
Is that true?
Yeah, yeah. There are people in the world. I've talked to some people who've said, I don't really like music. And I'm like, uh, what? how, how
How
can
do
you
you talk
not
to
like music? There's something. If you don't like music, there's something wrong with
you must have a very deprived life.
something. Well, who knows? Everybody's like I said before. Everybody's different.
Everybody is indeed different. I may not
Yeah,
understand it, but they are they are existent. Oh,
I don't understand it either.
that's really weird to me, gotta be honest. Like
Yeah.
what do you think about then? What do you do?
Well, remember before when I said I wake up in the morning thinking about guitar, I go to bed at night thinking about guitar. I'm playing my guitar as I'm falling asleep. I'm playing stuff in my head. It's weird,
No,
but
it's great. It's fun.
I don't know. Maybe they're doing math or something.
Sorry to hear that.
I
Man,
know.
I
Who
got
knows?
out of math in school as soon as I
Yeah,
could. Like last year is
thinking
my
about
last year of required stuff, and I was like, I am out. Not doing that
nice,
anymore.
nice.
It's
I
great.
remember that.
It's wonderful. I'm living my best life. Algebra free.
Yeah. It's really life is pretty good. You just have to have a good attitude about things and try to be the best person you can be and um stay away from people who are negative because there's some more good advice for the
Words of
the
wisdom.
last words of wisdom. There you go. Thank you. There are people that are just toxic, you know.
Yeah, I totally get
I
that.
Yeah, I put a post up on Facebook. Was it? I think yesterday or last night. I said, yeah. I said, I'm consider me a mirror. If you're nice to me, I'm the nicest guy on the planet. But
Absolutely.
if you're a jerk, I'm gonna mirror you. I'm gonna give it right back to you, and then walk away, and then stay away. You just be the best person you can be, and just keep the toxic people away from you, and live your life and be happy. And life is pretty good. And I think a lot of times people who aren't that happy are, maybe they're miserable for some other reason or something. But life doesn't have to be like that. I've always been,
It's
fairly positive. I've gotten more and more positive as I get older, because it's as I get older, I'm more like a duck, water off a duck's back, kind of. I don't let stuff bother me like I did when I was younger. But that's another thing too, is just don't let negative people bother you, because some will go out of their way to try, and just, you know,
believe me, I know.
life is a beautiful thing. God put us here for a reason, and it's not to be miserable.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Oh man,
Yeah,
that's very profound. I like that.
yeah, right.
Hit you with words of wisdom right off the cuff.
See, look at, and this is like the second or third time now in this whole conversation, so I'm pretty good at the words of wisdom, I think.
Yeah, you're a very wise person, I think. Look at
No, I'm not.
you.
No, I'm just trying to sound like I'm wise.
Hey, you know
I'm
what?
just trying to sound like I'm cool.
That's all right. I think I believe it. So you're doing a good job.
Thank you. I'm just trying to sound cool.
Yeah, you're killing it. Believe me, I believe
You know?
it. Wow, you know what? This has been totally wild. I have had so much fun in this whole big chat. I think
Yeah,
AnaLynne should ask you like one last question, right? Don't you think she should get a word
sure.
in?
I think so.
I'm just gonna put my guitar down there.
Yeah, because I thought this was going to be AnaLynne's show. So
You know,
there you go.
I start out
Welcome back,
thinking that
AnaLynne.
every time. The more musicians I have on, the harder it is for, her to take the lead because I have a
She's
really
not a
giant
musician.
interest in it, and
Yeah,
she can only play chords, like guitars and open tunings. So, excuse me, or sorry, AnaLynne.
yeah,
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 well, sorry about the misleading text, AnaLynne show.
yeah.
We're working on it. I'm giving her the knowledge. So,
That's
AnaLynne,
okay.
would you like to ask Todd one last question? Absolutely, Todd. Where can people follow you and Horizon Phoenix?
You can go on Facebook and look up Rising Phoenix and like our page, Rising Phoenix. And on the top of our page, you will see our summer schedule right now, and you'll see our full schedule. It's all pinned to the top of the page. And if you're in our area, which is Wisconsin, you can come see us live. You can see videos. We post videos a lot of times. We have videos on our YouTube page. We have our website, risingphoenix.com, risingphoenixband.com, sorry. And there, all those links are actually on our Facebook page. That's the easiest way to find everything.
Great, terrific. So Facebook,
Yeah.
folks, make it happen.
That's how you and I met, right?
Yeah, I think was it.
It
Are we
was,
Instagram or Facebook? I don't know, something like that.
I think it's Facebook.
Okay, Facebook,
Yeah,
and that's where I'm on
yeah,
more often these days. So it's Facebook. That's the way to go,
yeah.
people.
Everybody's on Facebook these days, so it's kind of where people. It's a
It's
good thing, good place for people to connect.
isn't that like part of their like slogan? It's something like that. I think
I
you
don't know,
may.
maybe it is. Whoops, I got something that popped up on my screen. There it goes again. There we
Oh,
go.
someone's popping up on the screen.
Puzzles. It's telling me I can play puzzles.
Oh, fun! What puzzles?
I don't know.
It sounds like a
I'm not
blast.
sure.
You're having a good
Yeah,
night. You watched a movie, you did an interview, and now you're gonna play puzzles.
I'm probably actually going to watch another movie tonight because I'm off tonight.
Oh,
Or this weekend I'm off. So usually now I would be playing my guitar, but I'm after the interview. I'm kind of spent. I think I'm going to watch a movie. I'll probably play guitar tomorrow.
sorry to have exhausted you like that.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
What are you gonna watch?
Just my mind is kind of like, there's only so much stuff that I can hold up there at one time, and I think I just
Uh,
poured it
I
all out.
understand
So
that. I
there's
don't have
nothing else.
very much in my mind either. Hey, stop making me say stuff like that. Sorry. Whoops. Just put that right into her head. Nothing in there. Nothing. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us. This has been a blast.
It has. And Sandy, it's been really a pleasure to meet you finally in person. I
Right?
put your Christmas card up on my wall.
I'm honored. Oh,
I
yeah,
still have it. I saved it. I still have it.
really? Oh, that's so
Yeah.
sweet. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
so glad. No, that was something else. I've never sent out Christmas cards before. That was like that was a whole
That was
thing.
pretty cool. That was pretty cool. I'll probably put, unless I get a new one, I'll probably put last year's up again this coming year. So
If you'd like a new one, I could send you another one.
that's okay. You don't, if you do, you do, but you don't have to. I
I mean,
just wanted to let you know that I appreciated it
I'm
very,
I'm
very
so
much.
glad. I'm so that was so much fun, and I'm so glad I got to send you one. Yay!
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for keeping my card, and thank you for coming on here. It's so much fun.
Thank you too, Sandy. It was nice meeting you and nice meeting you, AnaLynne.
Nice meeting you, John. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Bye bye.